perfect timing on the rain.
I mean, I've gotten used to that with you guys.
It has been a while.
Yeah, it has. Been a little preoccupied.
Yes, I imagine the club politics are ablaze. The return of one.
Just because one returns doesn't mean they're ever truly back.
Yes, I'm sure that can have that itch of another booze cruise.
No, I guess I'm gonna take my time with decisions, and I think, you know, for me, this will be the biggest decision I've ever had to make. I'm set in my choice. This weekend is going to be an interesting one.
You are aware that actions have consequences.
It's why it takes so long to act. It's a observation or a trait that a lot of people in the DMC don't have, no matter how much you try and educate them.
Certainly, a lot of them are not as patient as yourself.
No. Or as understanding.
Are you aware of what happened with Lisa?
Not all the details, but I know he went vigilante and tried to do something stupid.
It is rather funny that the Two of them were so entangled in the same sickness. Mason was so paranoid, thought that just because after one moment where I was tailing Ziggy Bugs, he thought I was after him. And on I was told that Mason thinks you are after him. And so I would send Osvaldo to Pope to have a little fun with it. All the while I had no intention, no desire to impact his life. But his obsession, paranoia grew and grew. Meanwhile, Chang. Let's just say the lights upstairs are tinted with a certain color.
Why not deal with Shank? Considering what he's done.
It certainly would make sense to rebalance the scale. He took Mason, I take him. But with everything else going on, your club business, I decided it was wise to maybe step aside. Wait for the right moment. As much as I'm sure it would do a service to your club in the long term. There are certain prerequisites that need to be in place.
You mind if I ask what they are? Such as those that are sick, to bring a resolution for them.
whilst they are in a very twisted way, they are somewhat safe from Shang.
You're saying because they're sick, they're safe from him, in a way.
They have been bestowed a gift, whilst many look at it as a curse or a point of inconvenience. It is doing more good than they realize.
Hmm. It's funny you mentioned patience. Because you obviously have that going into place. And yes, you could have done whatever you saw fit, regardless of my club politics or have a lot of eyes on me and how I act and what I'm going to do or how I'm going to play the next card, all that. This weekend goes by and the dust settles, there's a lot of people I won't give a fuck about. In reality, I already don't.
I certainly made up with mine.
I've had a lot to think about over the past, in reality, 8 months. A little bit more prominently now over the past 10, 11 days.
A lot can happen in such a small span of time. If you had any rapport with those in Cyprus, I'm sure they could tell you the events that occurred earlier.
In truth, I haven't really been around today, so I can ask.
Or they will deal in a very particular light. Not acknowledging or realizing it was a debt that was settled.
Hmm. You mentioned the last time, and maybe even the time before that, we talked about the shepherd. You recall that?
The guiding hand, yes.
I was looking at the, I guess, the application of that phrase the wrong way in my situation. It makes a lot more sense. Now I have a clear idea of what's next.
Apologies. I had a brief moment of distraction. You're wanting to find out what comes next, or?
No. I guess I was just referencing the comment you made about the shepherd. Weeks ago, I found it hard to try and apply it to what I was dealing with. And I just wanted to say that it makes a lot more sense now. Not that you give a shit about appreciation, but
I suppose some would say it is rare air that is to be breathed in.
yeah, you could say that.
It appears Norman has tried to sway or direct others to do his bidding.
And that's his whole thing, isn't it? Or is that something more recent?
Two groups of individuals. Well, one group and one individual. Saab, Skipper, and CJ. All down at the lighthouse talking with him, spilling so many details on pertaining to myself, my goal, as some may say. Then you have Osvaldo, willing to make a deal, to harm as many as necessary. I can read beneath this that Norman will hand over that precursor. So very naive.
I was about to say. You can't expect much from simpletons. And if I'm saying that, God, I can only imagine what your opinion of it is. So
Clowns have their use.
that, I mean, that is true. Once again, that's normal things, right? Idiots, desperation, grief, chaos, or just downright insanity. All stuff you can prey on. All stuff anybody can prey on, really.
I suppose, from a certain perspective, it is a matter of careful, meticulous planning. You and your kind are very aware and absorbed into that. Your electronics, your social medias, all sorts. Nothing but distractions from the world. And that is precisely what the clowns are.
Something cross your mind?
I suppose it is up to the other if another deputy dies today. One that is so riddled with sickness. The Snoopy kind.
Oh, let's hope not. That'd be such a loss.
You should have seen earlier. Very brave and foolish officer decided to try and, well, enforce a speeding ticket.
I can only imagine how well that went.
You know the off-ramp to the water facility?
I do.
I pulled over there, and what was one officer becomes 2 cars, becomes 3 cars, becomes 4. All over going 100. Just say 2 of them are now sick. And after a nice lap around the island, I think they realized either to back off or I lost them. As I'm making my way north to Polito, who is just around the corner. Duo of Carmine and Peaches.
Another set of people that will never learn no matter what you do.
Carmine is already sick. So full of hubris. And now there is a new sheriff in town.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
One Keegan McNulty.
Interesting. A person with emotion and strings. Very dangerous and also very fun to have in power.
Between you and I think it is great.
I would have to agree. Maybe not for the same reasons, maybe some parallels.
Well, I suppose you could look at it as this. A doctor, a lawyer, and a sheriff all walk into a bar. That certainly had me thinking, doesn't it?
Interesting trio.
advise keeping that one heavily to the chest. Hmm?
You want me to keep it to my chest?
Mm-hmm.
I keep everything you and I talk about to the chest. I'm done giving people honesty. Absolute honesty is... Sorry, go on.
I don't even know if he's aware of what potentially lurks underneath. A while ago, Norman walked right up to him and told him he's not able to see him.
What does that mean?
Possibly a range of different things. Is Norman becoming weaker? Is death retaliating? Is there something hiding in the shadow of Kian that has yet to make an appearance? And in some way protecting him? Or in another, not wanting to be found?
Curious. Very curious. Hmm. Yeah. Like I said, absolute honesty has gotten me nothing but knives in the back. So anything you and I talk about, it stays where we talked.
I'll let you decide what you want to do with them. Who do you see as being worthy of it? I'm going to pay my respect to the dead.